Hey there, everyone. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, author of One Rental at a Time. And I was lucky enough to be invited to speak at a real estate meetup. I did that yesterday. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of share with you that presentation I gave yesterday. It's really the path to financial freedom in 3 easy steps. 1, 2, 3. We will talk about all of them. Uh, just kind of our journey and see what's going on. I do believe everyone can join the journey. They can start the path. It is up to you how far you take it. But let's take a look at what we created. So let me share the presentation with you. And we will just go through it like we did yesterday. You don't need to see me. We'll get me out of the way. All right. So again, the title of the presentation is Financial Freedom in 3 Easy Steps. I am Michael Zuber, obviously, and everything I do is one rental at a time. Couple of quick things. If you want to know more about me, you want to hear about our story, you want to hear about somebody who read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and ultimately did the journey in 15 years, that is our book, One Rental at a Time. It is on Amazon and Audible. So if you'd rather listen or have paperback, I do ask if you do read it and you enjoy it, I'd appreciate a 5-star review. I do all of this, spend several hours a day giving back. So if you can give me just a couple of minutes, give me a 5-star review on Amazon and Audible. I'd love to see Amazon get over 500 5-star reviews. That would be a good day. So if you can help me with that, thank you. And of course, follow me. I produce 3 to 4 original pieces of content every day on YouTube. The channel now is actually 15,500 subscribers. So if you want your daily financial news, you want weekly multimillionaires talking to you, I have an expert series, hot take questions. I do a live Q&A Saturday. Again, I give hours of my time 7 days a week to you. So if you want to do me a favor, hit subscribe. That would be wonderful. But let's get into it. So I want to just give you a flavor of what you will know about me and know about us, Olivia, as well. This is all stuff you can find in our book, on Instagram, in our courses, or on YouTube. This is just who we are. We did this journey as full-time employees. We were not entrepreneurs. We had busy lives, right? We had both of us had full-time jobs. My job took me all over the world. We each routinely put in 60-hour weeks. We were raising a daughter, right? So we didn't have time. We were like a lot of you. Also, we started late in life. Well, later in life. We started in our 30s. So again, these are, it's just the reality of who we are. And all I can share with you is our story. And hopefully it inspires you and helps answer questions. And also gives you confidence. A lot of what we do here is to help you, A, see it's possible, and B, give you confidence to move forward. The book is a story, right? It's not a how-to book. Instagram is just daily motivations. Our courses, whether it's free, whether it's our $100 budgeting and get your money right, or the one that is most popular, how to get started one rental at a time, they're all wonderful, but it starts with, who are these folks and what is their story? Next, daily execution. If I were to give you a superpower of mine that I didn't appreciate for a long time, it is my ability to focus on an activity. It is that daily habit. I've built our portfolio over 20 years because I had that daily execution, and I did it. It's only 10 to 20 minutes. I believe each of you watching this could learn your market and do good or great deals with only 10 to 20 minutes a day. But it's a day. It's not 4 hours on Saturday. It's 10 to 20 minutes a day. So make sure you understand and appreciate that. Focus. Focus is key. Real estate offers lots of options, lots of distractions, lots of ways to go. But again, remember, we were full-time employees with no time. We had a vision. We wanted to get going. So we had a very, very tight criteria, and we'll talk more about that later. Something that we needed to do, right? We start this journey at 30 after spending all our money on wants. We started looking at our budget. This is the second course I created called Get Your Money Right. And it really is important. Not enough people understand just how critical this was to our journey, but we had to understand where the money was going so we can understand what to cut. And by cutting, we increased our freedom dollars so that we could buy more assets. It was really key to our journey. Our journey was 15 years in the making. I believe most people can do it in 5 to 10 years, depending on where you invest, how much you need. But even if it takes 15 years, I can promise you buying 20 years of financial freedom is worth the investment. This is not a get rich quick. This is not a get rich tomorrow. This is a get rich over time. I truly believe everyone can follow the path. We've laid a path out in our book, in the courses. I do daily content on YouTube. I have other financial experts Monday through Friday. It's all there for you. Your choice, how far, how fast, when to get started, that's all for you. But if you're serious, get the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. Join the Facebook group because you will be around hundreds, if not thousands of other investors doing the same thing. It's the happiest place on the internet. This is a people business. I made this mistake and admitted it in the book. It's not in Excel. I thought the answer lived in Excel. I was comfortable in Excel, but it's a people business. Make sure you grow your network. Yield. It's not cash on cash. It's not anything else. It's yield, right? I don't calculate discounts. I don't calculate mortgage pay down or depreciation or tax savings. I want to know how much money goes out, how much money comes in. I want every asset to be a bond. And I see it that simply, and it's really part one that's actually part two of my course. Part one is learning the market. Part two is yield and calculations. And I give you the spreadsheet that I use. I give everything and always have. So if you get the course, you get the spreadsheet. The real key to all of this, and you'll see me mention this a couple of times, you got to learn what average is in your market. That's the magic. That's what takes work. That's what takes work. You got to figure out what average is, because 99% of the stuff is average or bad, right? Bad means negative cash flow. And once you know average, you are empowered, you are enabled, you have confidence to only write good or great. That's a great feeling. Again, 99% of the listings are bad or average. And I bought all of my properties out of multiple listing service, realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin. I had no direct mail, no wholesalers, nobody feeding me deals. Every property we bought, except for one, you could have got. The other one we bought on an auction site. But again, that was publicly available as well. And again, we just kept moving forward. We didn't get distracted by the bad days. We didn't get distracted by the good days. We just kept getting the next one, the next one, the next one. One rental at a time is a methodology. It's a process. It's a belief. And you could take it as far as you want. If you want to take one rental at a time to 4, awesome. You want to take it to 10, awesome. You want to take it to 100, awesome. But again, I want you to realize you don't have to take it to 100 or 10 or 4. Getting one is a game changer for most folks. So again, these are the 3 steps to financial freedom. We will go over each of them kind of individually. But step 1 is getting started. It is learning your market. It is understanding the ups and downs of being a small-time landlord. I think this takes 5 to 8 years. Being a landlord is different. Tenants, termites, toilets, trouble. It's out there. Do you self-manage or property manage? How's the market? Is it up and down like California, or is it pretty flat like other areas? It takes time. Stage 2 is where you let appreciation and mortgage pay down and all of that happen. You start to reuse capital, either via cash out refis or maybe 1031 exchanges. It allows you to go bigger if that is something you will see. Again, as you will see me say a couple of times, you never, listen to me here, you never have to leave stage 1. Lots of people like to talk about, you have to go all the way to hundreds or thousands of units. That is a big fat lie. I believe if most people got to 4, your life would be fundamentally different, and that is awesome. You don't have to go to phase 2 or stage 2, but if you want to, you can. And then if you go to stage 2, you don't have to go to stage 3, but you can if you want, and we'll talk about those. Again, so stage 2 is reusing capital, right? It's, hey, I put 20K down here or 30K down here. I'm going to do a cash out refi and pull the money out. These are just things that you will see as you learn your market and you see what's possible. Stage 3 is where you have freedom. It's where you're juggling debt. You're taking debt up here and paying debt off here. You're making sure you have piles of assets for the just in case. You're enjoying life. Make sure you're happy. Make sure you're happy. Once you have enough, do you really need to get any bigger? right? I did an interview with an entrepreneur earlier in the week who thought they had to go bigger even after they had enough. And they had enough times 2 or 3. He almost lost his family. Is that worth it? When's enough enough? When can you just focus on giving back? I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I just want you to ask the question. So about us, a little bit more detail, right? We were burned out stock market investors in 2000. The dot-com environment kicked us in the teeth. We made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. The other thing that maybe we're similar is we made money, but we spent it all. We didn't really save. Just very dumb, right? We were consumers. We had lots of nice stuff with name brands on it, but it was not great. After losing a bunch of money in the stock market, I was trolling a bookstore and found the purple book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Changed my life. Nobody in my circle talked about real estate or investing until that book. And that really changed our life. But the problem with the book is it didn't say how. It introduced a Honolulu condo from Robert, and I think a condo for Kim in Portland or somewhere, but it didn't say how. So I bought more books. That's what you do, right? So all the books I read said buy an hour from home or 30 minutes from home. It didn't work. Live in the Bay Area. It's stupid expensive. It's stupid expensive now. It's stupid expensive then. It didn't work. So I needed to figure it out. We ended up finding a market 2.5 hours away, Fresno, California. We've never been there. Didn't know anyone, no network. But, we had to figure it out. We didn't know anyone, no family. We were just like all of you. We had to get started. We did buy our first rental on Norris Drive. It was a wonderful day until it wasn't. 2 weeks after the tenants moved in, the wife took off. Husband became an alcoholic. You can actually search on this YouTube channel. Just type in Norris, Norris. I have a whole video breaking down the horrible story, but let's just say we lost 3 months of rent, spent $1,000 on an attorney, and then had a $15,000 repair. Not a good day. And then lastly, we were bought in together. I mean, think about that. We just lost 6 figures in the stock market. Now we're down 15 or 20 grand in a rental. It could have really blown up our relationship, but we kept moving forward because we were bought in together. Here's a bunch of words that you're going to hear if you read our book. You're going to hear on this YouTube channel. You hear me talk about on Instagram. The middle class mindset. That is work 40 hours for 40 years to live on 40%. You don't have to. We were able to retire at 45 and buy 20 years of freedom. That's cool. Wants versus needs. Getting your money right. That course I just rolled out for $99. People need to realize that was an anchor for us. We were able to really cut back our expenses because we saw where the money was going. We had budgets, and then we saw where we were making mistakes. Wants versus needs is a big deal. If you want to get on this journey and really accelerate it, you got to get your money right. You got to talk money as a family unit. Learn your market is probably the phrase I've said the most on this channel. I built a whole entire course how to do it. I share how I've done it. It takes focus and daily execution, as was said earlier. But everybody can do it. It's a skill. It's something you can learn. You're not born with it. You can learn it. Everything we had was out of what's called the multiple listing service, MLS for short. Think Realtor, Redfin, Zillow. We had no special access. If you read our book, you may hear me talk about something called an 80-10-10. We'll talk about what that is. Basically, when we were starting, you could get loans from Countrywide, for example, was an 80% first, a 10% second, and 10% down. So we only brought 10% to table, and we avoided PMI because there was a second. This is how we bought 3 out of our first 4 properties. The first one, we just did a normal 80% loan. Cash out refi, that's where you have appreciation and you can take your equity back. Always buy more stuff, buy more assets if you do that. Affordability index is an important variable. It's in our book. It saved us. 2008 in California hurt lots of people because they weren't paying attention. We looked at our market every day. We realized that prices were getting high. We couldn't buy a cash flow unit, so we sold. We sold all our houses and bought apartments via a 1031 exchange. Again, very simply, it allows you to move to like-kind investments with no tax hits. You can read about those more online. Again, this is a people business, not Excel. Realize that every part of real estate is people. If you think it's Excel or sticks and bricks, you're wrong. Get over yourself. It's a people business. Yield. I want to know how much money I put out to how much money I get back. It is that simple. It is an anchor of my course. By understanding yield, you know average. And once you know average, you can do good and great. Network is your net worth. It's not how many people you know. It's not even how many people know you. It's how many people know you and what you look to buy. That subtle twist is very interesting. Free and clear versus leverage. This is the whole shout out to Dave Ramsey. I think Dave Ramsey is an amazing individual who's helped hundreds, if not millions of people. I believe his advice around real estate investing for most folks is the worst I've ever heard. That said, when you get closer to retirement in stage 3, totally get it. But realize you've got to go through stage 1 and stage 2 in order to get to stage 3. So again, conservative leverage, not over leverage. 401k loan. This is something we used a bunch in 2010, 11, 12. It allowed us to buy more stuff. My company allowed it. Not everyone does. So check yours. Again, it's discussed in the book. My yield that I talk about above, learning your market. I'm able to compare a house with an apartment, and that's pretty cool. Lots of people try to split them up. Bigger is better, all that stuff. No, it's all the same stuff. How much money do I put out? How much money I get back? Bigger is not better. Bigger is better sometimes, but when you put it in the spreadsheet, it will tell you what's better. Today, as I record this, houses are better than apartments. I own them. Rents are down in apartments. Collections are bad debts up. Vacancies are up. Apartments are rough. Houses are on fire. Amazing. And then again, there are market cycles, both in values or price, in lending. Everything's a cycle. So you got to pay attention. Daily execution helps you do that. Quick review of phase 1 of financial freedom. You got to learn your market before you invest a dollar. Don't be in a rush. Build competency. Build confidence in yourself. Understand what average is, and the world is your oyster. Again, there's only one question that matters when I talk to an investor is what is a bad, average, good, or great deal in your chosen market? If you know average, it's easy. Until you know average, you're gambling. Again, 99% of the stuff that's actively listed, especially today, it might even be 99.9% today as I record this, are bad or average. It's okay. It takes work. It just takes work. You'll get there. We bought 99% of our stuff out of the MLS over time. It's okay. You can do it. Don't be discouraged. Keep writing offers. Keep moving forward. We had no systems, no direct mail, no network, anything. We had no advantage. In fact, we didn't even know our market, right? We didn't live there. We had never been there. So if we can do it, you can do it. The one thing we did know how to do is compare deals. I can compare property on Main Street with the duplex on Red Street, with the fourplex on Yellow Street, and the 20-unit apartment building on, I don't know, Cedar Street. I mean, it's all comparison, and I'll buy the best deal or highest yield. We did know what part of town to avoid, right? I gave Olivia what we often call the veto rule, right? My job was to find deals, and it was hard, and it was painful, and it took work and daily work. Sometimes we would go see a property I locked up, and she'd go, nope, not this one. So I think she used that veto rule 4 or 5 times. Every time I was upset because, again, I spent months trying to find deals. But every time she vetoed it, she was right. Don't tell her I said that. But she was right. And again, for us, it took 7 years to exit phase 1. It takes time. And again, I'll say this a few more times. You never have to leave phase 1. If you don't want to, don't have to. Yeah. Again, phase 2 for us, and I'm actually going to be gracious enough to show you the math behind how we did this. We went from 8 to 80 units. That's where you start to reuse capital, right? Stuff is appreciated, mortgage pay down. You can go back and extract equity. You could sell in 1031 exchange. It's just how you can go bigger. So, that's what we did. We did some cash out refis. We did 1031 exchanges. I will show you the details in a minute. And of course, on the market cycle we were investing in, it was an up cycle. and it was just about to roll over, just about to crash. So we got out just in time. Something to know about us is every time we buy a house, and again, we're buying 2 today as I record this, our intention is to hold forever. But if somebody wants to overpay, if a retail investor wants to overpay, mom and pop wants to overpay, we will let them do that. So again, then we'll just move the equity somewhere else. How do you know when phase 1 ends? Again, phase 1 doesn't have to end. If you want to stay there, totally okay. There's nothing wrong. Phase 1 is awesome for 99% of folks. When you look at your portfolio, that's when you'll decide if you want to move on, right? Are you sitting on a bunch of equity? Are you think the values are going to drop? Is the market really hot? Again, what do I mean by really hot? Well, we bought a house for 107 that 3 years later was worth 264. We sold it 15 years later after the great crash. It's only worth like 215 today. That's what I mean by overpay. It was $50,000 overvalued in 2006. It's crazy. What's the opportunity cost of holding, right? Again, I've said I plan to hold everything forever, but sometimes that's a bad idea. What would happen if we still had 8 houses? I'd still be working. That would really suck. And you're allowed to go bigger, right? As you exit phase 1, you're going to go bigger, probably via 1031 exchange, but you've got to know your numbers. This is how we did it. Again, we had all the ones on the left we acquired over 4 years, maybe 4.5, and then we just did 1031 exchanges into apartment buildings. The stuff on the left was overpriced. The stuff on the right was underpriced. The stuff on the left was expensive. The stuff on the right was cheap. Yes, there was a time that apartments were cheap. This was before Grant Cardone came in and said bigger is better. We turned 8,500 in rents into over 50 grand. No new money. No new money. Again, please understand something. We talk about these impressive numbers, 80 units. You don't have to focus on that. If you only had 4 or 8 single family homes and you were done, I want to shake your hand, congratulate you, and pat you on the back. 4 to 8 houses is winning if that's what you want. You never have to go to phase 2. Bigger is not always better. Today, multifamily is a bad investment in some areas, right? Rent collections are down, rents are down, evictions are up, bad debt is up, turns are up. It's rough. I own these. I can tell you it's rough owning multifamily today. Grant Cardone likes to say bigger is better. That's not true. It's just not true. At least it's not true all the time. It's true sometimes, but not all the time. Again, I want it to be said, if you have a goal of getting to 4 to 8 single family homes and you get there, congratulations. I want to shake your hand, pat you on the back. Totally a great goal. Phase 2 for us, again, you don't have to get there, but if you want to, remember bigger is not better. First thing we learned is apartments are much harder to manage. We had never done it. We'd only had 7 houses and a duplex. So headaches, more people, faster turnover. Our houses average 8 years, our apartments under 2. That could be hard to make money, right? Apartments are going to lose money in 2021 for sure because of turns and bad debt and legal fees. It's just going to be ugly. Expenses go up substantially. Things I didn't realize, they just go up. Market decisions, market cycles can make apartments no-brainers. I think multifamily could be a wonderful investment in 2023, 2024. But we'll see, right? Sometimes they're just overpriced. Cash flow can absolutely increase. Our cash flow on 50 some thousand was a lot more than 8,000. It was, or it is. Houses can be overvalued just like multifamily, right? Houses overvalued, multifamily undervalued. It does happen. It's not happening right now, but it can happen. To talk about phase 3, this is when financial freedom is in your sights. It's time to look at your portfolio. It's time to review your debt structure. Again, we do this. All of our portfolio had debt as we were climbing this mountain. As we got to the end, we started repositioning debt. So some were free and clear, some were highly leveraged. We did sell some of our worst performers so that we could raise cash. Then it was for us to decide what we do with our free time. That's harder than you think. For me, I almost went back and got a job because I couldn't figure out what to do. That's when this YouTube channel was born. That's when the book was written. It was my way to give back and a way for me to feel productive every day. You don't have to keep growing, but we are. We're adding a couple every year. We're adding a couple today, actually. If you're growing, that's awesome, but make sure you're happy. If you do this and you're not happy, that's not good. If you want to keep growing, great, but don't risk what you have. I've seen a couple people get cocky and open restaurants and other retail establishments and risk everything they've built. Not a good idea. Again, this is a big deal. This bullet's really for me. Always focus on being happy. You sacrificed for 15 years. Let's make sure the next 50 years you're happy. So if you want to follow me, obviously everything I do is one rental at a time. This YouTube channel, Instagram. I do have a podcast. If you'd rather listen, it's called One Rental at a Time. You can get the book One Rental at a Time. My most popular course and the one that's been out the longest is called How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. It's $199. But not only is that course everything I've done and extremely valuable, it gives you my spreadsheet. It actually gives you my 6 in 20 private money course or private money loan or note. It also gives you access to a Facebook group for free that I mentor on Saturdays. I answer questions on. It's the happiest place on the internet. I would buy the course just for that group. So again, it's a lot of fun. And again, I've opened an office in Fresno called The Hub, where I've got just rock star folks joining, wholesalers, contractors, realtors. It's an amazing place. Oh, there's actually a picture of it there on the right. That's actually fake grass. Water's expensive, so I put in some fake grass. If you ever want to, call The Hub, there's the number. You can call that number. One of the guys out there, Adam, there's his number in red, 559-785-0696. Yeah, it's a great place. Again, some marketing that we do. It's a resource center for folks. In summary, financial freedom is possible, but it's a journey and takes time. I believe a better financial future is available to everyone, and I want to make that clear. Everyone can have a better financial future just by starting the journey. You don't have to do all 15 years, but if you start the journey, your financial future will be better. Bigger isn't always better, and it's never easier. Market cycles are real, and the mania can push asset prices to rise beyond normal values. I've seen a can't miss market before, and it is very dangerous. Value add multifamily is not where I would start to play today. Nothing wrong with single family homes with cheap 30-year money. You are not ready to buy until you can answer the following question. What is a bad, average, good, or great deal in my market? And if you need help with that, buy my course. Let's get started. I'll mentor you in my Facebook group. In the end, I want to thank you for your time. One rental at a time. Again, if you got the book, read it, please give me a 5-star review. Again, I've probably been speaking for 40 minutes or so here. If you can give me a 5-star review on Amazon, I would greatly appreciate it. So at the end of the day, remember, if you are part of a real estate meetup, I would love to speak with them. I love to get back. Let's schedule something. Let's talk. Let's do topics. I will even do just a 100% question and answer session if that is of interest to you. Just reach out, leave a comment below, DM me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, subscribe. Let's have some fun. Oh, and by the way, I'm recording this on Friday. Valentine's Day is 2 days away. So don't forget. Take care.